Have you ever heard of a mobile app called Death App? I asked Darren. What the hell is that? He replied, his brow furrowed. Well, have you ever heard of augmented reality? A few years ago, a game using augmented reality went viral. It had people running around town hunting for Pokemon with an app that displayed a camera screen showing where those Pokemon were hiding. The players saw the Pokemon on their phone's camera-like screen, as if the cartoon creatures were there, but in reality they weren't. Darren remained silent for a few seconds, looking as though he was trying to recall something. Yeah, I didn't play it, but I remember. Okay, now back to the app I was talking about, Death App, I continued. It's based on a similar concept. When users point their phone's camera at real-life locations, it shows something. I paused. Nope. Not Pokemon. No. I paused again. Dead people. 3D designs? Must be 3D designs. If not, CGI, Darren interjected. No man, not 3D designs or CGI, I explained. It shows actual dead people. Or at least that's what it looks like. Way too realistic. I worked as a nurse in one of the largest hospitals in town, and Darren was my coworker. Pulling my phone out of my pocket, I turned it on and tapped the Death App icon. The app's interface displayed only a camera screen with no shutter button. It's just an app that uses the phone's camera system, so what? Darren asked sarcastically. I asked him to follow me to the emergency room. When we arrived, the room was nearly empty, with only a few nurses and doctors attending to 1 or 2 patients. I lifted my phone and aimed its camera at one of the empty beds. On my screen, a man wearing a construction worker's uniform appeared, bleeding profusely. I walked closer to the bed, aligning my phone's camera precisely where the man's head appeared on the screen. Darren and I saw a disturbingly realistic image of a man, severely injured, blood covering his face, neck, and uniform. You said it looks like augmented reality, Darren remarked, still skeptical. It does look like one to me, and just like any other augmented reality, my friend, it's not real. It's merely a graphic made to look like it's real. It's not. Darren rolled his eyes, completely annoyed. Okay, I said. This isn't the first time I've used this app. So? He asked, sounding even more sarcastic. I've been scanning the ER for the past 2 days. Remember that horrible accident yesterday? 3 victims were brought here around 8 p.m. and died shortly after. Yeah, I remember. Well, I scanned the ER with this app in the afternoon, hours before the victims arrived, and I saw their faces in the app. I opened my phone's gallery and navigated to the screenshot folder. The app doesn't have a shutter button, so I had to take screenshots to document it. I showed Darren one of the screenshots, which clearly displayed the app's interface and one of the victims. You helped this guy, didn't you? There's no way you've forgotten his face already. Darren looked surprised. Must be a coincidence. Maybe it's just a look-alike. Maybe. But this guy wasn't the first, I argued. The app shows images of people who will die in specific locations within 12 hours. I've seen it happen multiple times. Darren still wasn't convinced. I understood. Tell you what I said. I'll take a screenshot of the dead guy we just saw, and we'll wait. I did just that. Hours later, Darren came running toward me, panic etched across his face. Luke, your phone! Your phone! He shouted, grasping for air. Wait, what? Your phone, he replied. The screenshot from the app. It's happening? I asked, alarmed. I followed him to the ER, pulling out my phone and opening the screenshot. When we reached the room, we got as close as we could without interfering with the staff. Same uniform, a construction worker, I thought. It was the same victim, in the same condition. As I glanced at his face, my stomach turned. It was him. You believe me now? I asked Darren as we stepped out of the ER. It's still hard to process, but... He hesitated. How the hell does this happen? Where did you get this app? The dark web, I admitted. A friend shared it in a group chat. You shouldn't mess with anything from the dark web, man, Darren warned. We chatted more about the app on our way home. Our shift had ended, and Darren was staying at my place for the night. Once we arrived, he went to use the bathroom. As I waited, an unsettling thought struck me. I'd been using this app at work, at the hospital, because death was common there, especially in the ER, but it didn't occur to me to try to scan my own home. I hesitated, but curiosity got the better of me. I opened the app, and I began scanning. Bedroom? Nothing. Kitchen? Nothing. Dining room? Nothing. Garage? Nothing. Finally, I aimed my camera at the living room. There on the couch, right across from the TV, I saw something laying on the app screen that was not on my couch. I walked closer toward the couch, and as I got close enough to see the face, my phone slipped from my hand. My face went pale in horror. The dead body that appeared to be laying on my couch on the app screen was my very own body. It was me, lying on the couch, throat slit. If the app was real, and then I had proven it was, then why would I be dead in less than 12 hours? Murdered. But by who? An intruder, perhaps? A robber? Someone was about to break into my house in the next few hours trying to rob me and murdered me in the process. Then relief washed over me. Darren was staying the night. I could warn him about the possible intruder and either get his help to prepare for a defense or leave together to find somewhere else to stay for the night. I might be able to avoid my death. 1 second later, it hit me. Darren was staying the night.